Okay, everybody, it is me, Gregory Mannarino. It is Sunday, November 7th, 2021. I'm glad to be back here with you people because I'm sitting here this morning, I'm drinking my coffee, and I'm just writing things down right here. And I want to cover that with you here. So, let's start off with this, it's freak show. You all know that. It's getting more freakier every single freaking day. But that's besides the point. But what can we expect moving forward? Well, before we look forward, what do we always do? Okay, every one of these markets, look ahead segments here, we got to look back first. What's the setup? Okay, because the setup is going to tell us where we are going. All right, let's talk about that. Let's start off with market risk. What happened on Friday? Well, we hit a series of new record highs, and it's just not going to stop here. As a matter of fact, like I said Friday, we're going to see this market do something extraordinary over the next few months, and I think it's going to be shockingly extraordinary. Risk in this market is dropping precipitously. Look at the MMRI. Link in the description of this video. It fell hard on Friday. This is a big tell, in my view, that cash is going to flow into the stock market almost like we've never seen before. All right. The setup is very simple, and I've outlined this for you a gazillion times. What do we have going on? Debts and deficits are in hyper balloons. Hyper balloons. Record high, record high, record high with regard to debts and deficits. This is a massive driver behind the market, okay? Clearly, we all understand what central banks are doing in concert around the world. They are inflating, and then inflating some more. I have told you that in that exact way for many, many years. I told you the goal of central banks was to inflate, and then inflate some more. And that is the driving force literally behind everything. Of course, we have crude oil here, which is a massive driver. So what do we got? Let's just add that up right now. We have risk in this market plummeting. We have, a debt hyper bubble beyond anyone's, even me, wildest imagination here. We have crude oil getting propped up. We have a global currency meltdown. A global currency meltdown. I always tell you to watch the Dixie or the dollar index, people. When you're watching the Dixie, and I still get questions about this every day, what are we looking at? You tell me. Exactly. The relative strength of the dollar relative to other currencies. But we're in a global currency free fall. Henceforth, why we are seeing inflation surge around the world. It's not going to stop. Let's talk about the Fed. What did the Fed just do? They didn't taper a damn thing. All they did was lower their minimum targets per month. There's no cap. Okay, they're continuing to run their inflation creation machine. Period. The end. Flooding the world with dollars, dollarizing the world. I told you this has been going on for many, many years. This is all a scheme of monumental proportions that has been put into effect a very long time ago to solidify what we're seeing right now. What they needed to do, people, was find a way to close, to shut down the global economy. And they got it. You think that was by accident or by chance? How about no? Okay, this was a deliberate act, this entire thing, to shut down the economy, allowing central banks to fulfill their endgame, their destiny, to become the lenders and buyers of last resort. That's it, to own it all. Once you understand that's the core of what is going on here, that it's central bank driven, more specifically the Federal Reserve. Why? The dollar remains the world reserve currency. That's the way it works. If you understand that, the rest of the market becomes very simple to understand. Now, going back to this market and the setup here. So we already covered risk in this market is plummeting. We got every dip in crude oil getting bought up big time. Okay, that's going to drive the energy sector higher, drive the financial sector higher, pull the whole market with it higher. Very, very, very simple. You all know how that works. It's easy mechanism, okay? And I cover this all the time with you. Debts and deficits hyperballooning, inflation, which is going to hit a lot harder moving forward. Okay, we all know that too. I think at least we do. So again, what's the setup? The market, the stock market is about to do something extraordinary, and that is surge higher through the rest of the year, unless an opposing force comes in here. Again, the market is in some kind of a melt-up mode, and it's probably a hyper melt-up mode. Without something acting against it, it's going to continue to melt up higher. Again, the bad economic news is going to continue. You know that. Again, why? Our economy is contracting at its fastest pace ever on record. But you're not supposed to know that. You're supposed to believe, again, the propaganda ministry. Everything is great. Couldn't be better. Our very nice people. I was going to say something very bad. Very, very bad. But our very nice politicians, they're all telling us how great everything is. No, that's what they all do. Okay, that's their line. That's their script. All they want to do is get reelected. They'll lie and cheat you and whatever they got to do to keep your mind twisted. That's a fact. So I talked about how this market, people, we're in. It's interesting what's going on. The stock market is in a melt-up mode while the dollar is melting down. Again, relative value of the dollar may look pretty good. Okay, oh, look at the Dixie. It's higher. Oh, it looks fantastic and tremendous. Oh, no. All the currencies around the world are melting down. So, yeah, maybe the dollar is the prettiest belle at the ball. But, no, it's a hideous thing, and I'm sure you all understand that. Let's talk about a couple of other things here, people. Let's talk about cryptocurrencies real quick. I think they're going much higher, much higher. But that does not mean that we are not going to see some volatility. We should expect it. Look, crypto guys and girls like me and you, I'm a big, humongous, tremendous crypto advocate. I own a lot of this stuff. I expect that cryptocurrency is going to be volatile. Look back on its history. It's volatile. But the trajectory is much higher for cryptos in aggregate. Precious metals. Let's look over at gold and silver and platinum and palladium. People, look, there's no price discovery mechanism with gold and silver, platinum or palladium for that matter, but gold and silver more specifically, silver more specifically. Okay, it's rigged, it's twisted, we know who's doing it. It's not going to stop until it does. Good, let them play their game, we're going to play our game. We're betting against the hyper bubble. It's beyond a hyper bubble. It's the mother of all hyper bubbles, and I'm talking about debt. Okay, you must be in an anti-debt unit of one type or the other. Okay, pick one. Me, it's silver. Physical silver to me is the ultimate hedge against the debt hyper bubble. The ultimate hedge. Okay, you know me. I'm into everything. I am into all of it. But silver to me is the ultimate hedge against physical silver. Okay, like stuff that you can hold. Ultimate hedge against the debt hyper bubble. Sure, I love it. I love gold. I love platinum and palladium as well. I own it. I own this stuff, physical. But silver's my all-time favorite. I also believe, people, that cryptocurrencies are also a hedge against the debt hyper bubble, which is going to burst. When? I don't give a damn. You know that. I don't care. All right, I'm in the market, like most of you probably are. Look, you're in the market whether you want to be here or not. If you don't own a single stock or a derivative or anything else, you're transacting in dollars. You have dollars, okay, you're in the market. You are in the market by transacting in those dollars, by acting in their system. Until you get out of it, until you are totally out of their system, you're in the market, okay? You're transacting in dollars. Those dollars are moving around here, okay? Well, you're in the market. So get used to it, whether you think you're not or you are. I think you get that. At least I hope you do. So people, look, the game is very simple. It's a hyper risk-on environment, meaning cash is going to continue to flow into the stock market unless, bam, something acts against it. A black swan event, which no one can predict. Okay, that's henceforth why they're called black swan events. Something must occur on a grand scale to prevent this market from going higher. And that is the only thing that can do that is the debt market hyperbubble. Again, it's being fueled and fueled and fueled more by central banks around the world, none more so than the Federal Reserve, okay, who continues to fuel the bubbles. The Federal Reserve is the driver behind every twisted aspect of this market. And you all know that. They're driving it all, and they're buying it all. You understand? I think you do. And you and I are light years ahead of everything because we know what they're going to do before they do it. How many times have I told you things and then they just happen? You think that's just by chance? Really? You think it's just by chance? I don't think you do. Anyway, let me make sure I covered all this stuff that I was writing this morning while I'm drinking my coffee. I need another cup of coffee. I need it now. Now. Anyway, I think I covered it all, people, for you. You have an astonishing perspective on this market right now. And I think you know exactly what you should be doing here. It's very, very simple. You need to be in this market. Okay, the market is going higher. Period. You need to be trading this market if you're one of my lions. Okay, I got you covered like you can't possibly believe. I really do. You know, if you go to my website, traderschoice.net, the second page, I have a stock screener there, which tells you simply buy and or sell. Then you get a stock screener. You want to know which stocks you should be trading? Well, go to my website, traderschoice.net, find the stock screener, find a stock that says buy or strong buy. Put that ticker symbol in the charting system I have for you. Is it an uptrend? Well, guess what? It's a buy then. It's that simple. And you could be, trading these many ways. You could be buying calls, which I don't really like too much unless you're hedging these things. You could be selling puts. You should be setting up credit spreads. With regard to everything else, people, can be easier. Could be easier. You should be, I don't trade crypto. You all know that. I buy and hold. I am a holder of cryptocurrencies. I don't trade this stuff. I wouldn't even begin to trade this stuff. Just forget about it. That's not what I do. Okay, I'm a derivatives trader. You all know that. And I also, look, I own things. The difference between somebody who has some kind of wealth and someone who doesn't is that they own things. They own things. That's all. They're not in debt beyond their freaking eyeballs. They're not a slave to the system. You understand? Anyway, just one thing more before I let you go. I'm considering this, people. So I'm just considering this. After the first of the year, on Saturday, okay, I'm considering doing a live Q&A. Yeah, a live Q&A with me. We'll see if I can work this into my schedule. I'm extremely busy. I'm sure you all know that. You're just as busy as me, I'm sure. But I'm going to try to do this. I think it's going to work. So after the first of the year, we're going to do a live Q&A. I will try to address some of your questions, and I think it's a way for us, again, to rip the freaking face off of this. Look, I told all of you, and I will continue to tell you, we will never lose. They're going to play their game, the freak show, okay? But we're going to play our game. And the reason why we can beat it is because we know what they're going to do before they do it. We are so far ahead of everything. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. And this is how we're winning, and it's just not going to stop. I don't care what happens. Market goes up, fantastic. We're gonna do great. Market goes down, we're gonna do great too. We're hedged. Remember to be hedged here. If you are in one single asset class, no matter what it is, and just one, you got to be a little worried, okay? But if you're hedged, if you're in a risk on things like equities, the stock market, and risk off things, gold, silver, platinum, palladium, cryptocurrencies, well, you're hedged. You got nothing to worry about. You're sitting pretty, and you're gonna laugh. You're gonna laugh like I am when this whole freaking shit house goes up in flames. You understand? All right, look, I'm out of here. Kind of a long video. I could keep talking, but it's getting kind of long. And I gotta have a second cup of coffee or I'm gonna fall on the freaking floor. All right, look, I love you all. I mean this from my heart. We got each other's backs. I got your back, and I know you got mine. So how can we possibly lose, people? We can't lose. Love all of you. I will see you tomorrow morning. And it's gonna be, well, what's the word I'm gonna say? lovely. Bye.